the fact that you are now a socialist that believes in big government.
There's no inconsistency whatsoever in my position. I was asked a straightforward question. Will you implement SAP? And I said, no. Nigerian people wouldn't have voted for me to implement the policy of the federal military government. We will implement the SDP policy. If NRC's business is to carry on SAP, that is their own party policy. That is the first thing. There's no inconsistency. I pointed out issues of budget deficit. I pointed out issues of oversupply of cash into circulation, which were spotted by your candidate as being atrocious. These are the consequences of the implementation of SAP, which I said we will not implement. So this question about inconsistencies and so on, I don't know where you found it from. I supported the idea of SAP when it was introduced, because no country in the world will sell goods to Nigeria other than for current purchases, other than on a cash and carry basis. And that is the only way we could have survived as a nation at that time. See, there are so many ways of going about this thing. The question you have not really asked me what the alternatives are, but I will tell you. SAP, to the extent that it pumped out more money than the goods are available, is antisocial. It makes life difficult for those on small income. It makes life a nightmare for the poor. But it was not intended like that. Nobody told us that to be part of the maladies. And secondly, I've just told you that the introduction was sound. At the time it was done, I bagged it. There was no way we could buy when we owed for so many months. We didn't even know how much we owed for a long time. You see, the problem we have in this country is the problem of management. What type of managers are people who owe without knowing how much they owe? We had to appoint Chase, a foreign bank, to calculate how much money that we owed to foreigners, when the records are here in our central bank. Anyway, the truth of the matter is that there's no consistency at all. I would never be an advocate of import licensing. I challenged it several times. No, there are other ways of going about what you are doing. And those other ways, when the question that is specific to that is asked, we will say it. But see, it is already in our policy program, fair wealth to poverty. And that is a very highly considered view. In actual fact, we have just been told that the IMF themselves have said that the thing is a flaw. So are you now going to be holier than the Pope? Those who brought this policy said this, damned as flawed. And you are now saying that you want to continue, carry on. Nigerians won't follow you. No way.
The next issue is the weak engineering base of the economy. And Alhaji Bashir, it's for you. Without a solid technological base, the country cannot produce intermediate and capital goods, namely motors, tools, machines, and spare parts. And it will continue to depend on other countries and support factories abroad. What are you going to do about the weak technological base of this economy?
Well, you see, essentially the problem of this country is economic and lack of good planning. I wish you had allowed me, to complete my thesis about how you wanted me to put this economy right. I just started and you stopped me. However, with regards to that, I think it's an issue of education and how you structure it, and also a matter of defining your national objectives with regards to technology. When you take education itself, we have to plan education in a way that we want to develop. We have to plan education that way, otherwise we shall be planning for nothing. I believe that we have to plan education for technology, especially at this time when our country needs certainly technological takeoff. If you go back a little, I think 1980, when the Second Republic began in 1979, they created a Ministry of Science and Technology. And this was a very good idea. But unfortunately, when the military came, they scrapped it. So going back and forth, and then we had it again, and then we scrapped it. So we were not sure really what we wanted. But I think we can structure our education in such a way that we can give emphasis to technology in education, right from secondary school to technical colleges and to universities. It is necessary, in my opinion, that we specialize. We get certain universities to specialize in certain aspects of technology, in certain aspects of sciences, because that is what Nigeria needs nowadays. And we have to certainly fund education as heavily as we can. Right now, it is deplorable, the amount of money we pump into education, just under half of what UNESCO advised, about 5%. And UNESCO's level will be about 15%. So I think what we have to do now is to get money into education by reprioritizing our priorities, by casting them again. My government will certainly put more money into education so that we can achieve that technological test that we need. We have to put our curriculum right. We have to focus our attention to education. The Ministry of Education, the Ministry of Technology must be given this right people place so that it can work and train Nigerians for this technology.
Thanks very much. Bashir.
Well, education is a very difficult crisis in Nigeria. So much so that we simply will have to start all over again. The priority has to be accorded to education in everything that we do. Forget about technology. Education itself. I was calculating about 2 weeks ago